Hi guys, welcome back to the Cocktails and Culture podcast with myself, Brigethia Arai.
And I'm Benjamin Coy.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back, y'all. How you feeling, Brigethia?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling blessed.
I mean, we'll get into it later, but my girl is a whole year older, a whole new decade, baby. 30,
I am.
30 and thriving. I know that's right.
It is crazy.
You look good. The glow is glowing.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just like crying. I'm so proud of you. But yes, y'all, we will get into the things later on. Yes. But I'm happy to see you.
I'm happy to see you too, honey.
Yes, you look good.
Yes. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm feeling good.
That's
and
good.
Sometimes that's all you can feel.
That's all you can. What is it called? The retrograde?
The retrograde is retrograding.
Yes, it
She
is.
done got her fresh micro braids. Shout out to that favorite episode.
Yes.
She done got her favorite micro braids. They are in. They are tight. They are freshly done. Baby hairs are still laid.
Yes.
But we working through it though.
We are.
We working through it. She getting some new growth a little bit though.
Not new growth.
Let me show. But yes, Mercury retrograde is doing her thing. But we're here.
We're here. We showed up today for you guys.
Yeah,
so we're here.
Showed up and she's showing out too.
Yes. Well, today is going to be a special episode. We have one of my favorites. So today we have B.Monét. B.Monét is a distinguished writer, director who obtained her BA in English from Spelman College and her MFA in film and television with a concentration in writing and directing from New York University. B.Monét is a Maryland native, award-winning filmmaker, director who is known for her thought-provoking questions about identity, society, race, and culture, underrepresented people in film, media, and television is evident in her work. She notably directed an award-winning short film, Queen, which has been screened at over a dozen festivals, including the Cannes Short Film Corner. She was chosen as one of the winners for the Queen Collective in partnership with Queen Latifah, Tribeca, and P&G, Procter & Gamble. Most recently, she's teamed up with Comcast, NBC Universal, and Never Whisper Justice to direct Black Girls, a documentary that follows the stories of Black women who transcend beyond their adversities to become advocates in their community. Woo, honey, the resume is stacked.
The resume is stacked.
Girl, I couldn't even get all the words out my mouth, okay? Well, without further ado, help us welcome B.Monét. Welcome, B.Monét.
Hey, darling. How are we?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
How you feeling?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for
coming. Of course. Thank you so much for coming. We're so happy to chat with you and let people get to know you more. So we're excited about that.
Before we really get into the culture, we have to discuss our cocktail. So today, we're just celebrating Black women. We're celebrating Blackness. We're celebrating liberation with a little bit of champagne, a little bit of Prosecco. Cheers to us. Cheers to that.
I'm like, cheers, guys. I got.
Cheers.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Something about drinking out of a whiskey glass just makes you feel really grown.
That's real grown.
Don't judge me for drinking my champagne out of a whiskey glass. Okay.
That's improvised.
But I feel very grown. Like, you just hold it. I'm like a grown man.
No, that really do give grown me a totally do. It does.
Yeah, so let's kick it right off, y'all.
Yes.
So we have an award-winning filmmaker. So I have to first kick it off with, what are your three favorite films right now? What are you watching? What is B.Monét watching, honey?
Ooh, that's really hard. I really like this African spirituality film called Mami Wata. Okay. It's beautiful, like all black and white. I actually met the filmmaker at Sundance this past year, and I was just like, oh my God, if I could make anything like this in a lifetime, I would be, I feel like, okay, you know? What else? That's really, really hard. TV shows, maybe. Let me think of that. I can't really say it well, but it's the Melina Masukis TV series on Apple TV. It's like The Changeling. It's with Lakeith.
She got one.
Yeah.
I love Melina.
I love her. She's like one of my favorite directors. She can do no wrong.
Same.
Okay. And like
It can be of all time too.
All
It doesn't have to be
oh,
like
all
new.
time.
Yeah, it can be-
Oh.
It can
I
be
thought it was
current
like
or-
right now.
Yeah, no, it can be both. It can be both.
I mean, living single is always a classic. So
classic.
Listen,
Yes.
classic.
Full circle there. Full circle
Okay.
there.
yeah.
Take us back to the beginning of your journey. So, what kind of sparked your interest in film?
Ooh, well, I feel like, how long do we have? 'Cause I'm like, I can go with the short answer or the long answer, but I'll keep it, I guess, in the middle. So when I was like 5 or 6, I was a very imaginative kid. Wanted to be a WNBA player, wanted to be a veterinarian and an architect. So I think from there, there was that storyteller aspect of me. Then also just grew up like watching Moesha a lot, and I feel like the art of like wanting to be a journalist or being a storyteller was there.
Yeah, she was a writer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I feel like all the Black girls were like doing things, even in living single.
Yeah,
there
like
was
creative.
like Khadijah,
yeah,
you know, with writing there too. So I think that there was something in my subconscious that was like, you need to be a storyteller, and seeing Oprah too. And then I think also like Tyra Banks' show.
Yep.
So I think all these things in a way made me feel like, okay, I'm seeing people who look like me
right.
be storytellers. But when I went abroad to Italy, I was in like a creative writing class, and my professor was like, you write like you're seeing films. Have you ever thought about filmmaking? And my parents were like, you went to Italy and lost your whole Black mind. You want to be a starving artist now? Like, what's that all about? So I think when I got into film school, that was kind of like my moment of like, I can do this, you know.
Love that. I love that we had that representation, even though we should have more
Yes.
back then, especially even, I mean, and still now. But I love that those characters that meant so much to the culture were like a part of like your memories of like your journey to get to film.
Yeah, I mean, I think media is so big, right? Like in our community, and I think a lot of us, I think it just has an impact on us. And so I think it was there from the start. I just didn't know. I couldn't name it until maybe now, but yeah.
Agreed. And that's one thing I envy the younger generation, that they have that vocabulary and that vernacular to describe what they are, what they want, who they want to be. But I love that for them.
Yeah.
I do. I love that for them. And along with that, though, so like we mentioned in your bio, you're very known for your thought-provoking films that cover society and race and all this. And what made you want to platform underrepresented folks or underrepresented communities? Like, what led you to want to platform those stories?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm very into like Afrofuturism and like sci-fi and like alternate universes. I love this movie called Neptune Frost by Saul Williams, and just like seeing us in these like different spaces. I'm just like, can we have more of that? Like, I'm tired of seeing, like, even when you look at movies, you just see white faces, and I'm just like, where are the spots of color? Even if it's not Black, like just other people, other voices. So I think seeing a lack of representation made me want to like foster our stories, whether it's in a sci-fi world or whether it's just, you know, a mundane story. I think, we just got to do better. Or not really us. It's really the entities needing to give us a chance.
People that have more of that power.
Yeah, girl.
So speaking of representation, so a little background story for the watcher. So I know B.Monét from I think 2019. So I started to work on Queen Collective, which I mentioned in her bio, but Queen Collective is basically all about working with women of color filmmakers and giving them a platform to be able to create these authentic Black stories. So I was working on Queen Collective with Procter and Gamble and Hilla Noten, and that's how I met B.Monét, and we kind of just knew each other from then, and just been continue to work together, and it's so great to have you here, and to just talk to you on a different scale, because I feel like I was always like emailing like, girl, okay, we're gonna do this, we need you to do this, we need you to do this, are you here, like what's going on, like this is the talking points, like, you know. So it's nice to just see like this moment of us being able to just sit down and like just chat and like get to know you even more outside of like the work stuff and seeing you like on these beautiful films that she created through the Queen Collective program, and then even after Queen Collective, like, and we'll talk about her latest film that she's worked on. But just to see you here, it's like, it's great to see this moment. So I'm so proud of you. I really am. I'm so proud of you.
Look, as I am of you, I just have to say, like, she got us all together, you know, me and the other, not contestants, but winners of that year, just like in the sense of just being so warm and so loving. And when there was a lot going on, you always were like a really beautiful anchor to land. And so I really appreciate that.
Well, you guys inspired.
It
was a lot going on. Like, lots of filmmakers. It was alumni. Then it was the new contestants. But we always bring B.Monét back around for all the things, because she's one of the first. You were the part of the first class of filmmakers that got the award. So like working with Queen, and now it's like evolved into something else. So I think it's so great that you were able to be a part of something. Like, you were the first class of this, and now it's evolved to so much more. And she's always like a great alumni of the program, so we always make sure we bring you back. According to the Annenberg study, out of 1,400 directors, only 8 were Black or African American women directors. How has being a part of the Queen Collective helped you further your mission to share authentic Black stories?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a part of a lot of different mentorship programs, but I will say that Queen Collective feels a little bit different in the sense of we actually did get mentorship. The DP who did the Jim Carrey movie, it's a lot of words, but it's like the Eternal Spotless Mind one. She literally gave us mentorship on how to shoot our films, and then we got analytics on how to make our social media presences better. Like, even from that conversation a few years ago, I'm like, how can I make my Instagram page tell a story? How can I make it more visual? So I kind of like let that haunt me, you know, in terms of like, should I post that? Should I not? So I really appreciate the fact that they were looking at us as holistic filmmakers, like mind, body, soul, and not just this one-off experience and, oh, we did it. You know, we're these great brands, and we made some filmmakers of color do a great thing. So I appreciate that. And even my newest project, Black Girls, I would say is in tandem with Queen Collective, because they were looking for new filmmakers. And so very thankful that that happened because of Queen Collective. So
see all the power of caring about the person first.
Thank you.
Is what is so important. Yes. Caring about the person and how, because as artists, you know, we create our art, like, but we are more than just the art that we create. We are holistic folks. And so I love that they were able to really get down to the soul and start there first. And so that's a beautiful reflection. And I can see that in the art, in your Insta, in your feed, and all the things that you are putting out to the world. So I love that. I love that that is that's the thing.
And so much has come out of it.
So much
has come, like, after you guys were there, like, so much has come out of it. So many other great people that have seen you guys work and looked to you guys as like the groundwork for everything. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, they literally, like, they're like, oh my God, I seen B.Monét's film, I seen Haley's film. Like, everyone is so, like, you guys really started, like, that was like a huge thing. It's like a big deal.
No,
really is. I'm like, oh my God, like, it really is a big deal. Like, it really just makes such a difference, and like to hopefully continue to change those numbers and those stats, you know, continue to do that.
No, I'm grateful that Queen is doing that, right? Because I don't think a lot of people are putting their money where their mouth is, right? Like, they say one thing, but it's not necessarily paying off in their actions. So I'm just grateful that she constantly is doing that. Even with the project that I might be working with her on now, the fact that there's still that relationship. And I think more people need to like think about the longevity of someone's career and not just, oh, I did a program, here's some money. It's like, how can you get your first commercial? How can you get your first feature film? Like, it's a pipeline. It's not, you know, just one thing. So.
And I think some people don't even realize, like, I think in the beginning, some people are like, well, why would you guys choose Queen Latifah? Like, why? Like, oh, that's different. But it's like, when people don't realize, especially for like the Black community, like, Queen Latifah was one of the main faces that we saw. Like, if anybody got into Hollywood, it was 100% her. Like, it was her face that we all saw, you know? So I think for me, that's why I was just like, I watched her growing up all the time. Like,
Why not?
Bring It Down the House is one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
Beauty Shop is one of my favorite movies. And to say that, like, she was such a big face for our community and just in general. And to see her now, like, in this space, like, she's a big part of, like, representation in television and film and, like, having her own production company and all of that. And I think that, for me, was just, like, full circle on its own. Like, to see her, you know?
No, she's exactly who you think she is. And even more.
Yeah.
Like, she's that warm, beautiful light, like gorgeous in person, but also so funny.
So,
like, I'm just like, how are you all of these things in one? Like, this, like, leave something for the rest of us, you know?
And it feels so authentic too, because some
Yes.
people are like, you know, but you can feel her energy is very authentic, for sure.
Oh,
for sure.
top
Great.
tier.
I want to ask a question back to the importance of representation and being that piece of visibility to the younger folks. As you are a part of the inaugural class of Queen Collective, and you are changing those stereotypes and changing those statistics, how does it feel to be doing that? Like, do you think about that in your daily? Like, are you like, this film is being added to a collection that's going to give some type of representation for another young girl to want to be something or want to be or have the vernacular to say what they want to be? Like, how does it feel to be in that?
Wow. I think it's still like monumental, but it's also like when you read back my bio, I'm just like, whoa, that's me, you know? And it's this weird imposter thing of like, oh my God, no, I did do these things, but I also didn't go to a film school where I felt seen and heard. Like, I'm grateful to have Spelman, because when I went to NYU, I didn't feel like I was heard. So I'm literally making my first film in film school was about Hottentot Venus, who was paraded around Europe because of how she looked. So I kind of have already felt like from a start, I've had to do this like combat thing where I've had to deal with a boot camp situation. So I think when you ask me, am I realizing, like, I think the magnitude of what I'm doing, sometimes I think yes, and other times I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? So I think I would like to say yes, but I hope that my representation can help the next girl who looks like me, right? To say, I can tell a story. If B.Monét is doing it, I can do that in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or I can do that, you know, in Alabama and Tanzania, wherever, you know, like, it doesn't have to be that you have to go to these fancy schools. Maybe you can do it like in your backyard, you know, and figuring out what you have. I mean, even when I was in film school, I had to raise money on Indiegogo for my first thing, and like literally sent emails to people being an annoying brat and being like, yo, I'm making a film, help me out, you know what I mean? But people don't see the invisible work to get to a place like this. All they see is the red carpet and being with celebrities. They don't see the being in an editing room till 4 a.m. My eyeballs are going red, but I'm just trying to almost like push my mixtape, which is my film, you know? And I think people don't, they don't see any of that. All they see is, oh, she's posting about this. She's being annoying.
Yeah.
I have to be annoying because also, like, the numbers say that black filmmakers, especially black women, we're like less than 4% in the DGA. And I'm not even union. I could be union, but I choose not to be because of the level of jobs out here, too. Sometimes you can get more jobs non-union than you can as a union director. So it's all these stipulations that make it sometimes make it intimidating for someone to want to even be in the industry. So I try to be non-gatekeeper, like, I'm like, nope, here you go, here's the information, here's the, you know,
because it's like if someone helped you, you want to pass that on. And I always say that it's like, I don't want to just always be that only face, the only black face, the only brown face. Like, want to pass that along so that it can be more of us and give some knowledge along the way. So that's super important.
Yeah, because if it dies with you, was it worth it? You know what I mean? All of the information, all of the knowledge that you've learned, and we're going to pass away, right? We're going to, whatever afterlife really looks like. But in this matrix, why would I only keep it for myself?
Right, exactly.
You know, what is it going to harm you if I send you a grant, send you to apply to this job, talk to this producer? Why not?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of us still have a crabs in a barrel mentality. And I think that's why sometimes you still see the coveted this person or this person or this person, because we're not thinking collectively. Like, not all of us. Some of us are, but not, I think, enough in the power positions are.
Yeah. Well, girl, you are a part of.
You are
part of making those differences, honestly. Like, and I even like I'm not even a filmmaker, but just seeing you do your work has inspired me so much. And I think so many people that are watching, because it's like to see someone just be able to create, seeing from the drawing board down, from seeing like when I'm seeing it from the beginning, and then I finally see you guys as films. I'm like, oh my God. Like, what the heck? How did we get here? Like, it's so beautiful to see it like come to like the full circle of everything being created. So I love that.
Yeah.
But you're a storyteller too.
Yeah, in my own way.
Come on.
No, this is, you had to research your guests, right? You have to put it all together. There's still thought, there's care of like, should I ask this? Should I not ask this?
Yeah.
Maybe I ask a follow-up question. That's still storytelling. So
Right.
I just want to name that.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's switch gears. We're going to play a fun game.
Yes.
Going to play a fun game.
We are going to step into the culture, Black Hollywood edition. So,
Oh, God.
so we'll ask a couple of questions.
Okay.
They're all pertaining to Black Hollywood, Black movies, Black films.
Okay.
You know the things. And then we'll give you a multiple choice.
Ooh.
You have to guess what the answer is. You want to take us off, Brigethia?
Yes.
Okay.
So, first airing in 1992, how many seasons did Martin run?
Oh, God.
A, 3, 5, 7, or 12?
Ooh, I feel like it's between 5 and 7. Jesus, I want to say 7, but I feel like it's 5. Ah! I'm going to go with 7.
5.
Damn it. I knew.
I was about to say 7 too.
I was like, I feel like it's 5 though, because I feel like
it's 5.
if it was 7, people would talk about it more.
Yeah.
Because 7, that's
But you know what? Seasons back then used to be so much more longer than they are now.
that's
Because,
true.
a series now would be 10 episodes, 8 episodes, and be over with. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it was 5.
Who directed the powerful biographical film Selma, centered on the 1965 Selma to Montgomery Rights marches? Was it Regina King, Ava DuVernay, Ryan Coogler, or Jordan Peele?
B. Ava DuVernay.
Love it. Who was the first African American to win an Academy Award? Halle Berry, Morgan Freeman, Sidney Poitier, or Hattie McDaniel?
D. Hattie.
Yes. Okay, girl.
Okay, give yourself some more credit. You know your thing. You know your thing. Okay. Now, who was the first African American woman to play a lead role on a television drama? Was it Diane Carroll, Ethel Waters, Oprah Winfrey, or Nichelle Nichols?
I feel like it's A. Diane.
Is that your final answer?
Oh, God. Yeah. It's not, is it?
It's not.
Oh, who is it?
But we love Diane Carroll. Honestly.
I love
She's
Diane.
an icon.
Yes.
Rest in peace to the icon.
She was.
Nichelle Nichols. So she debuted as Lieutenant Uhura on Star Trek.
Oh, yes, this is right.
In 84.
Yes, with
sorry,
the, like,
1964. Yes.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Close.
We speak her name.
Which character from the 1998 film about the singing group famously said, "Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis"? Denzel Washington, David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, or Samuel L. Jackson?
I feel like I should know this.
Oh my God. B.
This is a classic movie for real.
Oh my God.
I watched this over and 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 over again. You gotta say it. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have to say like
Give it to me again.
Denzel Washington, David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay, can you give me a hint? Wait.
Okay.
Okay. It's between B and D, right?
Yes.
It better be B.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You had me shook for a little bit. You haven't
No,
shook.
trivia's not always my thing. I was like,
Listen.
That you need to watch
Temptations is my
Temptations.
movie.
You gotta watch Temptations. You gotta watch it again.
I'm
It's
just
my
like,
movie.
I haven't watched
my
it in a while
God.
either, but I remember that line.
Yeah. Okay. What does Stella do for a living and how Stella got her groove back? Is she a lawyer, stockbroker, real estate agent, or OBGYN?
Ooh, it's been a while. Jesus. Give it to me again. Oh my God.
Lawyer?
It's been a while. Okay.
Lawyer, stockbroker, real estate agent, or OBGYN?
Are we gonna do hints again?
Okay.
Is
Give me a hint.
I feel like it's not B. It's between A, C, and D. It's B? No.
Yes.
What's your final answer?
It's B?
It is
It's
B.
Stockbroker.
I
was
feel like
shocked
she
too.
was an
I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
like she
hold
was
you.
an OBGYN.
I thought she was a lawyer.
No.
Maybe I just remember her being in the office. I'm sorry.
No,
I mean, she was
y'all.
getting her groove back, so that's why I was thinking she
Ew.
was D. Dang. Okay.
Oh.
No, that's why she was D. I'm dead. Okay, last question. Leslie Wright, played by actress Queen Latifah, is a physical therapist in Just Right. She is also the biggest fan of which NBA team that Scott McKnight plays for?
Scott McKnight.
Detroit Pistons, Chicago Bulls, Los Angeles Lakers, or New Jersey Nets?
The Nets.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, Lord.
No. Sports question. Is that a real team?
Yeah.
New Jersey Nets? For real?
Or they used to
Don't
be.
come
and-
after me, y'all.
Oh,
Don't come after me. I'm just.
And I only know that because that was like literally one of my favorite
That's a
movies.
real team for real?
Yes.
But they're not anymore.
Yeah.
It's Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Nets
Brooklyn
now.
Nets. Yeah.
See, yes.
Now.
Look,
Thank you.
see?
I knew.
Now.
All this
Okay, but
trivia.
they got sold? Or they.
No, I don't
they
know
got
all them
bought?
details.
I mean, well, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, period. Come
that
on, me.
movie.
My dad
what
would be
did
so
we say?
proud.
I was, now you'd be so proud. That movie made me, I don't even know why I wanted to be this, but when I watched that movie, Just Right, I was like, okay, I want to be a physical therapist. Like, I would just adapt into the characters too much since I was a kid. Like, I would be too, like, if I watched something, I wanted to be that person. I wanted to get the same job as them. I wanted to, like, wear the same clothes they wore. Like, I just wanted to be like this so bad.
It goes back to the power of representation.
Right. I was like, oh, I'm going to be a physical therapist. I'm going to marry a basketball player.
And that often still
mean-
happen, my love.
I don't want to marry a basketball player.
Why not?
Oh, but you want to be a
She
physical therapist?
No.
It's giving some medicine.
I mean, Just Right was a good one.
It was.
Just Right. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. I feel like they don't make movies like that.
They don't. Oh my goodness. Okay, so.
Sorry, I'm like.
No, you're
No,
fine.
that's
We celebrated her birthday a couple of days ago, and
I
I was
know.
thinking we
Happy
watched
birthday,
13
girl.
going on 30.
Oh, yeah,
And first of all, the movie, beautiful movie. Okay, watching it as an adult, totally
different.
different. Totally different. And so I was thinking, like, do we have any romantic comedies that are like creating like storylines that tell you, I guess, give you advice or like have archetypes that are like mainstream in that way? I can't
Not
think
of
of
late. I don't think so.
Not of late, no.
From scratch? No.
Right. Everyone, we're in our we're in our reboot.
Oh, you're
era.
talking about the movie from scratch?
The TV series with Zoe Saldana, where she's like in Italy or something.
I thought Kofi Cerebo was in a movie called From Scratch that was on like Netflix or something. I
Oh.
think so.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you're talking about the one where the husband died or something. He was sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was sad. But that was based on a true story though, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I miss those type of, and I'm gonna tell you my idea when I'm done because you know
Yes.
I grew.
You need a
my
director?
love- I do
Ew.
maybe, but
Wanna shoot?
I grew a love for film through the QC program. But I just like I want to see like another romantic comedy, and then just like a romance, a true beautiful romance with a black lead man and woman. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
Gotcha.
hello, I have ideas, but we'll chat.
Gotcha.
Look.
But
I'm
anyway.
like,
And we'll
you
have
write
premiere
it.
right here.
I'll direct it. You gonna star in it. He gonna
Okay,
shoot it. Done.
You gonna start?
Period. We're all in this room. Okay, don't play with me because I can bring it out, baby.
I know That's right.
I can bring it out.
Let me write you in. Let me write you in a character. Let me you a good character, okay? Okay, so in the Elaine Welterworth book, More Than Enough, she spoke about Shonda Rhimes' coined term, first only different. Being an FOD in your field comes with a unique responsibility and a powerful opportunity to rewrite rules, to redefine norms, to represent for the communities that haven't had a seat at the table before. So, after doing a little digging, found out that you were the first African-American woman to direct a car commercial for Cadillac. Hello. Can we get some claps for that? Okay.
Hurry.
Come on now, B. Like, really? I didn't even know that. Okay, so do you ever, with these kind of titles, being a FOD, the first, only different, I think we've all probably experienced that before. But on your scales, like, do you ever feel like pressure of like holding those titles? I know we talked about like wanting to make sure we, leave the door open and push, bring those that may be behind us or come after us. But like, do you ever feel like that pressure or whatever with those kind of titles?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's only normal to still feel butterflies,
Yeah.
Like even like the first day of directing, I'm still like, okay, do I still got it? You know what I mean? And I think, yeah, it's like a muscle, right? Like being on a scooter or being on a bicycle. Like it just
Not the
like, strays.
Okay, but yeah. And she looked at me like,
like what's up. Like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. But, it's there, right? Like you still just ease right into it. But I still think there is that because I never know who's watching me on sets, or especially girls will come up to me, and sometimes guys too, who are Black or of color, because they're just like, oh my God, I've never seen a Black woman direct. Yeah. Like literally, like even in LA, where I mostly work out of LA, I live in New York, but people still are not used to this. And so I still feel internally that pressure of like, okay, I'm being watched. If I don't like how someone is talking to me in a moment, do I yell, do I scream, or do I find another way to like communicate with them? So it's still these things of like being watched and still having to be a young Black woman in a space that still doesn't really want you to be there. Yeah. And so I don't try to like come into spaces like, oh God, like it's going to be so hard, but you still have to maneuver and like figure out how am I going to work in a space where I'm only 4%. Right. And people are still not used to like this being the captain of the ship. So it's a weird thing to navigate. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I had more mentors. Like I'm speaking about mentorship, I think, which is funny to me, like 2 days from now. And I'm like, I didn't really have a lot of mentors. Like I really had to figure this out. And I think that's a lot of Black people. Yeah. It's like, it's non-conventional. We're just trying to like grab a little bit of information here, eavesdrop here, grab this interview, grab this nugget here, and that's us,
I think how we bring it together.
Right. The resilience. The resilience. And I think too, it's like being in those type of spaces, I always say I wish that we can just sometime exist. Yeah. Because I don't care what industry you in, it's like you always have Black people specifically. We always have this, it's like we can't make a mistake or something. Like we just always have to be in this excellence space. And I don't feel, and that's the part that we talked about earlier about just like being free in those spaces to feel like I can be upset about something. I can have an opinion and not be looked at as aggressive or whatever. Like it's okay. Like I can be me and I can be free in my thoughts in that space. But I hate that we have to always, in different industries or whatever, like we just have to be so like, oh well, it's no matter how high up you are or whatever. It's like it's different rules for us. It always is different rules for us. But again, the resilience that we bring is just like, sometimes I'm like, how do we do this? Yeah. Okay, we got it done though. We got it done. But how did we do this? Like honestly, with the odds against you and people that we know that literally things are just given, they just post a little video and then there it is. And just there it is and it's over with. Life like just like the work that goes into it. But that just makes it so much more beautiful. But it's a lot.
It is. And sometimes I'm just like, I want to tell like the next person, like, it's not going to be difficult. It's going to be easy for you, but I would be lying, if I said that, because I mean, maybe their path will be a little bit different or a little easier, but there's still things that I feel like, unfortunately, you are going to have to deal with as being a person of color, Black person in this world, in this industry that just still has a lot of work to do. Even a program that I'm in, another diversity program, and it got back to me. My producer told me that that the production company said, "Oh, well, these are just little shorts," like very dismissive. And it's just like, so then you have someone who literally is the production company who's supposed to be fostering the new generation of filmmakers, and then you have the audacity to say things like that. So, it's Michelle Obama's thing, right? We go high when they go low, but it's still like, wow, like the divisive nature of the language, of how we're treated, that no one can prepare you for fully, I mean, you can know your stuff inside and out and still be met with strife and opposition. And so, I don't know. I'm like, do we just build our own table? Because I think I'm tired of all of us talking about diversity and inclusion and this and that, and people still don't get it. So
yeah, that's true. No, that's very true. I know, obviously, since the pandemic, it's been so many companies talking about it, and it's like, are you even really?
Now a lot of that is receding.
Yeah, it's
a lot of that D&I stuff is going away.
Yeah,
and so now we're back to square one. It feels in so many pieces.
Oh, I know. I know. You didn't ask for all that. I'm sorry.
No,
but like,
that's true.
No, it is.
No, it's very true.
Is.
It's very true. And it's like, I find myself in those type of conversations, is like, we always kind of revert back to like, this is the issues, but we're resilient and da-da-da. But it's like, no, but like, seriously though, like, this is like the actual issues, like, for real. Like, and like you said, I think we definitely have to create our own table. For sure. And I think we all are doing that in our own ways. Different people are doing that in their own ways, for sure. I think the beauty and the curse behind social media is that is giving a lot of people platforms that maybe didn't need a platform. But at the same time, a lot of people are able to create, like, and tell their own stories and get their thoughts across and whatever, tell their stories in their own ways through social media and through, like, I think that's a way of creating your own table. Like Issa always says, like, I didn't see it, so I just created it myself. I didn't see a show like this, and she literally is an example of that. Like, I'm literally creating this myself because I don't see it. So,
I mean, and look where she is now. Like, it all worked out, but she had to be brave enough. You know what I mean? Like what you all are doing too, like creating this space for creatives and folks to just speak freely and be like that is important, because not everybody.
No, that's
doing
true.
It.
And even when you're at those spaces, like how Issa, like her shows get canceled, like rap shit got canceled, and
you get knocked down.
It's like we get no's too. You get no's too at the top. Like they also can give you no's, but it's just like to keep going and keep creating. It's hard to be in that space, obviously, but like, but I commend her for that.
Me too.
On the same topic of resilience, this past year we've seen so many accomplished Black women like Taraji P. Henson speak out about equal pay. She was not the first, but she is our most recent. In the entertainment industry specifically. We also witnessed Angela Bassett getting snubbed again at the Oscars, and then receiving an honorary award. We saw Beyonce getting snubbed over and over and over again at the Grammys. With that still occurring today, how do you stay resilient? How do you keep going? What keeps you going?
Oof, that was a deep cut, because I think, and it's not, I mean, it's like what Gail from P-Valley, I just was watching a video that she was speaking about. I do want all the awards, right? Like, if you put in all of this work, is it wrong to feel like you're owed awards? Or even what Taraji's talking about. Is it wrong to be like, I want more pay? I want better resources. I want a car service. I want this. If I've been in the game for 20 plus years, if my white counterparts are getting this and that, hey, I mean, even for myself, you know, like the other day, the agency that I'm with, he specifically didn't put the budget in the email. But then another company says, hey, B, do you want to be put up for this commercial? And he puts the budget in there. And so I have to go back to my agency and I said, hey, so is the budget this? But why are you being divisive? Right. Things like that, I guess, I would say keep me wanting to educate and also like help the next generation of filmmakers who don't know, okay, in commercials, if the budget is $1 million, I get 10% of that, right? But most directors aren't, especially Black, are not getting those budgets yet. Yeah. Like, even if you are in the union, you got to be like Spielberg, you know what I mean, to be getting millions of dollars for like a Super Bowl ad or something. But most Black people are not there, right? Like, we got one Ryan, we got one Ava, we got one Spike. Yep. You know, we got one Nia DaCosta, and all the rest of us we're chucking, you know what I mean? But I think things like that make me want to help and educate and mentor, you know, the next generation of filmmakers who just may not know, like, I should be paid this, or how do I get this equipment? Who are great DPs or collaborators for me to work with. Like, I want people to be great, you know, like, I genuinely always want that, but I think just, I don't always feel like that from people who are steps ahead sometimes. Like, they forget how hard it is to like rise.
Right. No.
And I think you can't forget, no matter where you land, you got to still look down, look to the side, look around. And also maybe not prioritize these white award shows and these white stamples of approval, because they never really wanted us to be there anyways. So it's like, should we really be like, you know, my wife deserves this? I mean, it's hard because it's like, she does, but it's also like, why do you have to even say to the Academy, my wife is deserving of the highest honor of the night? Like, at some point, what does this woman have to do?
Right, like, how many more records need to be broken at this point?
I mean,
like,
at this point, she gotta do backflips.
Right, it's ridiculous.
Damn near do it.
And I want people to understand that this is Beyonce we're talking about, like the one of the best entertainers, and she's still like that. I think that really like clicks. And even to go back to what we were talking about, as far as like, you know, us not receiving things or not getting our just due, I think sometimes even like the older generation, like. I'll say like the Oprahs of the world, the Whoopi Goldbergs, even our own grandparents. Sometimes if I call my grandmother and say, you know, I negotiated my salary and I said that she'll be like, well, not that she'll say I deserve it, but it's like their generation is so different. It's like Oprah was saying, Oprah and Whoopi were saying like, well, when I did Color Purple, I only got paid $15,000 or something. But babe, that was in 1980s. Okay. It's 2024. The bills are due now.
The bills are due now.
Recession, like. That's what I respect, that they put the groundwork in, because obviously without these people, we would not be here. But we're in a different time now, and I don't feel like we have to be quiet about these things and say like, no, I want to negotiate this. Like, I deserve to get X amount of dollars. I deserve X, Y, and Z. And just because back in your day you accepted X, Y, and Z, right? Times are different now, and I'm going to stand up for myself. And again, it's respect to that generation before us. But at the same time, I want our generation that come behind us to know that, like, no, like, I can ask for what I deserve. Like, why is that such a taboo thing? Like, I don't get it. I
mean, I even got reprimanded because even the program that I'm in right now, I held it. They made me jump through hoops. I mean, they didn't like my first idea, so then I pivoted. Then I did some drafts, then I pivoted. Then after the 6th draft, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I sent a long email, and then you meet me with the fact that I'm being aggressive because I stood up for myself. So I think until people, again, can take this, right, all of us, and over here, because he's black too, standing up for ourselves and not being afraid in the, the spaces of opposition to speak up. I don't know, man. Because I think they want us to just be okay with average and just to be okay with mediocrity. And I think we have to buck the system and say, no, you will pay us all at least this. But none of us can fold. And I think a lot of people, will fold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And it's not all about the money, it's the respect.
Right.
Yeah.
It's respect.
I got a quick one for you too. So when you talk a little bit about having to pivot so many times, as an artist, that is literally creating something that they are connected to, what is that like in your mind to have to
Chaos.
to be so subjected to these standards? Baby, this is art. Like,
honestly, it makes me want to get to a position where I am making money through different streams of income, so I don't have nobody telling me this and that, because not from a sign standpoint, because I know that we're not doing that, but I will say that something about my zodiac sign, I don't really like being told what to do.
What's your sign?
Libra.
Oh, okay.
So I like people, all that, but also it's like enough.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard because I'm still trying to find the love in the project and like what I wrote, but I think it's hard when you work with entities and they want to shift and change.
Yeah.
Like literally these people asked for my script file, took my script file and wrote in my script things like poor neighborhood and dirty dishes, and then met me and said, I'm being aggressive because I stand up for myself. So it's always, I wish that I had someone a few steps ahead of me where I'm like, how do you navigate these things when they're telling you this and that? Because I can ask a man or black man, but it's different for men. You still have the advantage of being a man. Whereas, unfortunately, folks are still biased.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot that has to be unworked, but people don't always want to do that work. So,
but I think us, like, in wherever you are in your careers, like you said, like us speaking up however we can in whatever way, I think that is definitely the start to like us just not accepting things. And I know like it sounds easier than it actually is, obviously, speaking up for what you deserve, but I think like that feels like the only way at this point, So oftentimes as artists and creative, the things that we make are just as much for the creator as it is for the audience. So in your film, Black Girls, as a creative creating it, what did you take from the process and what did you learn that you'll take for future projects?
It was 2.5 years of interviewing folks, over 20 interviews. There were a lot of interviews that didn't ultimately make it. But I think what we did try to do with the film is show different Black women who are whole and who are literally, I would say, attached to healing and want to show that healing is something that you can have and you can possess. And so I think those were things that kind of like have been in our DNA in terms of like us making this together. Because even though, yes, I'm the director of it, I had other people be in the same orbit with me making this too. Yeah. So, I feel like you feel that in the energy of like how it's shot and how we're editing it, like just trying our best to celebrate all the uniqueness in Black womanhood and girlhood. And hopefully you can see that we're not a monolith, that we're not the same. And that's okay, and folks who are not Black, I hope that they watch it too and they can say, oh, I can take this from Vanessa. I can take this takeaway from Alex or, Miss Jackie. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard because it's like there were so many other stories too. And I think it's just hard when you know all the other people that you interviewed and you're like, oh.
I mean, it's giving part 2. Honestly, we love a sequel.
Right. Look, maybe I'd have to ask the company, right, if they would be willing. But it seems like a lot of people are resonating with it so far. So I'm really happy, even for y'all to say that, you love Vanessa or, I'm not sure if you if that was the chapter that you loved too.
Yeah,
but
and Alex as well.
And Alex.
Yeah,
Alex
I've been
is.
following her for a while, so I was like, oh, Alex. That was exciting to see her.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
she's so good. She's right around the neighborhood.
So where can everyone find your film if they want to watch it?
Yeah. If you want to watch it, you can see it. If you have Xfinity, you can watch it on the Black Experience there, and then you can watch it on Zumo for free. And you can just I know it's annoying because you got to do all the,
They could do it.
They could do it.
They just scroll on
And we'll put that
TikTok,
link right there,
YouTube,
and you will
all
go
that.
do it.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Do it. It'll take a couple seconds. It don't take that long.
Exactly. And
Yes.
there's news I can't share, but down the road, it might be going somewhere bigger. So, so people can check it out for now.
So excited.
Yeah,
Yes.
so exciting. So exciting.
But yes, y'all, check it out,
Please.
please.
That would be
So
great.
good.
Please. So with that being said, I mean, I know you said you can't share, but what can you share about what's coming up next for B.Monét?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm working on a sci-fi short. Very excited to just get in the weeds also with narrative. I think I've been in the doc world for a while, so I'm wanting to just go big or go home with this short film, and that's going to be on a streamer too. So as soon as that, goes out into the universe, y'all can see it too. So, but watch Black Girls for now.
Yes, watch Black Girl. So this is a part of the episode where we raise a glass.
T-Pain.
And it is pretty much like you just showing love and light and whoever has inspired you or whatever. So we kind of just say who we love. So do you have someone in mind, or you want me and Ben to go first and you'll think?
I'm thinking, but
Okay,
yes,
thinking.
I want y'all to go first.
Okay.
And that's
I can hop in, yeah. So I think I have two, because y'all already know who the other one's going to be. So let's pump the brakes on her for real quick. The first one I'll give is to Coach Stolley and the team, University of South Carolina, for winning the championship. Now, y'all know I don't watch sports, but honey, I was glued, okay? So proud of them as a team, so proud of her as a coach, and proud of her stance in a lot of these queer issues, specifically transgender athletes who deserve to play. Just let the people play. So shout out to that team. Shout out to Coach Stolley. And of course, I'm raising a glass to the Queen Mother, Beyonce, for not just the music that she just gave us, okay? Love Cowboy Carter. All 27 tracks are being played continuously. I'm going to play it when I leave here, actually. And you should too. But for breaking down those walls, breaking down those barriers, and reminding us that she's an artist, right? Yeah. She's not an R&B singer. She's not a pop singer. She's not a jazz singer. She's an artist, and she's creating art, and that's what she wants to do. She's bending the genres, honey. It's a country album, quote unquote, but it's really a Beyonce album.
Right.
And we should say that more. And so raising a glass to her, raising a glass to Coach Stolley and the USC team. Shout out to y'all.
Love that. So I have two as well. So my first one is Angel Reese and Flau'jae that play for LSU. So I want to raise a glass to them because Angel has been having a rough time the last couple months. People just picking on her and forgetting that she literally is in college. And it's like we make mistakes in college. We have fun, do whatever. And I love how Flau'jae and her teammates supported her in that press conference, and she was really emotional. But I think it's obviously tough to see her in that space, but I think it's just a true testament of how social media reacts to people. We don't get any black girls. It's just always you just have to know perfect. Why is she dating someone who didn't date when people date in college? Okay, she can't have a boo. She's young. What y'all want her to do? She's gonna make mistakes. She might why can't she just be a woman and they got some type of her body, the way she dressed, and it's just everything. But girl, keep doing you, keep being beautiful, and just keep surrounding yourself around the people that you're around that is uplifting you.
Yes.
So raising a glass to Angel and Flage.
Yes.
And then lastly, I want to raise a glass to B.Monét because I'm so excited for you to be here. I've been hitting you up like, girl, we gotta have you on. But I'm so happy we got a chance to make it work. And I'm so happy I got a chance to just meet you, period. Because like I said, like just working with you the last couple of years, I just enjoy it. And like I said, you inspire me to even want to like think about film like in a way of creating.
Please.
So raise a glass to you, and I'm so inspired by all that you do. So raising a glass to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my God. Take your flowers. That's important.
Yes.
Take your flowers.
Acceptance.
I was just at during Women's History Month, I was at a breakfast, and it was a breakfast of all women getting honored for whatever work they do in the community. Mm-hmm. And the MC was so she put such an emphasis on having the women stand and receive their flowers and hear their bio and hear their resume and hear the amazing work that they've done, because, you know, oftentimes, just like you said, like you're so in it and you don't even realize the magnitude of the work that you've done. So yes, honey, raise a glass to yourself. You've done the thing.
Yes, you
Shout out
have.
to you. For real. Yes.
Oh, I received that. And I'm like, wait, can I have 3?
Girl, you can do what you want
do
on
what
the
you wanna
Content
do on
Podcast.
I guess in true Beyonce form, I'm going to raise it up for Yvette. I used to work at Parkwood, and that woman deserves all her flowers, all the everything. She's the brainchild, I would say, for Beyonce and like all that she does. So definitely.
Yes, Yvette. We love Yvette.
But the fact that, you know, I even asked her, like, is there any way that maybe one of the Bailey girls can be in my film? And the fact that she was willing to, like, just give me their information. Like, and I haven't been at Parkwood for a while, but the fact that she was, like, ride or die in that way is just speaks to her. So, yeah.
A testament to her and a testament to you, too. So.
Yes.
Again, I'm reflecting it back.
Oh, you said, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes.
You said,
Testament
bye-bye.
to her and your character, yes.
So, yeah, all the black girls, right, like that are doing it, that are creating spaces for vulnerability, for transparency. I feel like because of our relationship, I'm able to just emote, because I don't be just wanting to do all that in all of the interviews. So I have to thank you for creating this space and, you know, having me here today and letting me be open means a lot. So, yes.
Thank you for
Thank you.
giving an opportunity to be open.
Oh, come on. Stop. Get into it.
Yes.
Yes. Well, cheers
Yes.
to that.
Cheers to
yes.
that.
Cheers to
Yes,
transparency, vulnerability, and just doing what you want to do.
Period.
Oh, my
All
God.
of that.
Yeah.
Doing what you want to do, but also, like, being your authentic self. I feel like everyone always talks in these words of, like, authenticity and all these buzzwords, but, like, what does that actually mean to you, to me? Like, how do we actually live in that and not look for, you know, outside validation?
Thank you so much again for coming on. We really, really appreciate it. We're finally glad that we could sit down, have a good little chat. We hope you all enjoyed watching. And be sure to not only follow and continue to support B.Monét, but y'all make sure you watch Black Girls, for real. For real. All of you, not just the women, my fellas too, please. It is it's really good, I promise you.
Check out all her stuff.
All of it. All of it. Yeah.
All of it.
So
All
follow her and find all those links, but we'll also put them in the description box below. You know we will. You know we will. Yes. And make sure you all follow the Cocktails and Culture podcast on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, well, X, whatever. Twitter, on X, all the places, and make sure you subscribe to our email subscriber list. Shout out to our email subscriber winner. Love you.
Jasmine.
Yes. And also, for anybody who's in the DMV area, May 9th, we'll be having a Stylish Connections. Myself and Style by Tip, who we had on the show a couple episodes ago, will be hosting a networking event here in the DMV area for the fashion community. So make sure y'all come out, have some champagne, buy some stuff at Ron Davis Studio, who y'all know I love and live for. You can RSVP on my Instagram. But yes.
Perfect.
Follow
Well,
us.
until next time, guys.
Until next time.
Cocktails and culture.
Get it from my baby, what's now?